Welcome back, Patriots, to the Balt Brad Show. It is Monday, June 3rd, and as always, Joe Biden is still, by far, not even close, the worst president in American history. Patriots, it's great being back with you on this fine Monday morning. Let's jump right into our lead story of the day with Donald Trump on June 1st joining TikTok. He's at UFC 302 with Dana White and post a 13-second clip for his first video. And just less than 24 hours, this thing garners like 60 million views. In less than 48 hours, as of 10 p.m. on June 2nd, Donald Trump has already accumulated 3.3 million followers on TikTok. The reason why I bring that up is the most popular president in American history, Joe Biden, only has 342,000 followers and has been on there for quite some time. Donald Trump shows up in 24 hours, gets 3.3 million views, and Joe Biden sits at a fraction of that. But we're all supposed to believe that that dude is the most popular president in United States history? Nobody believes that. I've never seen a boat parade for Joe Biden. I've never seen Joe Biden selling out stadiums with thousands of people in the parking lot just waiting to hear his voice. I've never seen caravans for Joe Biden. Granted, I should take that back. I've seen caravans of illegal immigrants for Joe Biden, but not American citizens. I don't see people waving the flag for Joe Biden. I don't see any of that. I don't see stadiums chanting USA, USA with Joe Biden there. I see a bunch of idiots chanting 4 more years for Joe Biden because they love massive immigration. They love the crime that's happening in their cities. They love all these negative consequences of Democrat policies. But we're all supposed to believe that Joe Biden is the most popular president in American history. I sense bullshit. You're damn right we're kicking the show off right this Monday morning, folks. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Watch our videos all the way through. Well, with this Trump verdict, which we all know is bullshit, we have Donald Trump here reportedly raising $200+ million since the verdict. Now, you guys, I asked you straight up, I think we're doing a live stream saying, how much money do you think this guy's going to raise? I said 50, 100 million. I just threw out 200 million going like, maybe. Trump reportedly raised more than $200 million since his guilty verdict that came last week. The revelation was made by one of the president's sons, Eric Trump, whose wife is Republican National Committee co-chair Laura Trump. We got a video of it happening here, and you gotta love just Donald Trump utilizing this moment here to raise money. And I pray to God he is Mr. 47. I pray that that guy is elected into office this coming November. Here we go.
Have you seen in the way of money raising? I spoke with President Trump yesterday. He said it's nearly $200 million. That is astounding. Is that number correct? Where does that number come from?
Well, this might be a little inside information, but as I was leaving my house about 37 seconds ago, I asked my wife, what are we up to now? And she said, just in terms of small dollar, we're well over $70 million. This is $21 donations, $43 donations, right? Small dollar donations. If you add the large dollar donations to it, you're over $200 million. But you're over $70 million. And by the way, Maria, wow. 30% of those people have never been seen before by a political party, right? I mean, these are Americans who are pissed off. They're coming out of the woodwork, and they want to support a guy that they just believe is getting bamboozled by a system. And we saw it with impeachment 1. We saw it with impeachment 2. We see it where they weaponize every liberal DA and AG across the country with one intent, to take him down, to slander him, to ruin his reputation, to try and divide his family, to try and bankrupt him, to throw him in jail, to do whatever the hell they can do. And America sees through it. They know exactly what's going on. Al Capone had one count, one felony count. Wow. Donald Trump has 34, over $130,000 8 years ago. A case that everybody dropped, a case that no one would pick up, and something that was completely legal.
Correct. And not to mention just yesterday's video, if y'all didn't look at that, a New York Post article resurfaced from 2022 that talked about how the Hillary Clinton campaign, in conjunction with the DNC, paid a law firm of over $1 million to create this hoax, the Steele dossier, to go after Donald Trump, and they misrepresented it. They didn't show it correctly, but nothing happened to them. Hillary Clinton was fined $8,000 and the DNC $105,000. No grand jury, nobody put on trial, nobody labeled a felon, nothing of the sort. They were given a cash fine. Donald Trump doesn't pay a parking ticket on time. Grand jury, trial, media movement, everybody going after the guy. We all see through the bullshit. You're damn right I'm cussing. Because if people think on the Democrat side of the aisle, there's not going to be consequences for this. If you think of the Democrat side of the aisle, that we're not going to sit there and use the full justice system as a wheel to sit there and ram it right up, you know what, regarding what you did to Donald Trump, to you guys, you got nothing coming to you. I don't care. Folks, in 2016, I voted for Donald Trump because I wanted the whole system to be uprooted. That's why I voted for the guy in 2016. And you're damn right I voted for him in 2020. And you bet your ass I'm going to vote for him again in 2024 because I'm tired of this system. These Republicans that are rhinos, these Democrats that hate this country, the progressive left that hates this country as well. We wrote an entire book on it. I'm tired of the establishment. I'm tired of these politicians. I'm tired of the corruption. And we're seeing it in real time with what they're doing to Donald Trump. And I hope, I'm tired. I don't care. Burn the system down for all I care. At this point, if you're willing to do this to him, let's just go full stupid. I want everybody up there on court, in court, on trial, in trial, sitting there and having the justice system and the full weight of the government come down on them in the same way they did with Donald Trump. You're damn right I'm pissed. And I'm also pissed because you see the corruption. The corruption has been going on since the Obama administration. I mean, quite frankly, been going on before that. But speaking of corruption, you got Anthony Fauci here, you guys. Good old ouchie Fauci admits the 6-foot social distancing standard sort of just appeared. You know, that's a fun way of saying you pulled it out of your ass. And we all got banned, censored, silenced on TikTok, mainstream media outlets, YouTube, Twitter, all the sorts, for saying the exact same thing, that this whole thing was a hoax, that you're more likely to die from the flu. The social 6-foot distancing guideline published by public health officials, but follow the science, you guys. Follow the science. During the COVID-19 pandemic apparently lacked any sound basis in science, according to the testimony of former chief medical advisor to the president, Anthony Fauci. It's unbelievable. I know we all knew this. It just shows you these people just came up with this crap and we're supposed to believe them. Remember all these Democrats that wore their masks outside? All these Democrats that wore their masks inside their cars by themselves? 4 more years! 4 more years! Follow the science! The country's gonna burn down because of climate change! We're all gonna die in 6 months if you don't get rid of your gas-powered cars! And we're supposed to take all these people serious this coming November. You're supposed to listen to Democrats and believe them. The Russians are meddling in our elections. No, they weren't. Don't breathe on me. You're going to kill me. No, I'm not. You got to get the jab or you're going to kill everybody. No, you're not. I'm coming back. There's damn right I'm on around. You got to love how what the Democrats did regarding climate change, COVID, social, all this stuff, right? Follow the science, right? Climate change is going to, the world's going to blow up in next week. You know, it's similar to like Joe Biden going, I drove an 18-wheeler. No, you didn't, Joe. I was out there on the streets with Dr. King as an activist for black people. No, you weren't, Joe. Not at all. You said a lot of racist things in your life. You weren't any of those things. I was running for president of the Girl Scouts. No, you didn't, Joe, nor were you ever. I worked in the coal mines of Pennsylvania. No, you didn't, Joe. You never seen a coal mine in your life. This guy lies in the same way as his followers do. Fauci, the former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, advised the former President Donald Trump and current President Joe Biden on the U.S. response to COVID-19 carrying significant influence over infectious disease policy. Weird because Fauci is an elected official. So why is he sitting there running infectious disease policy knowing that he just pulled it out of his ass? Republicans have grown increasingly critical of Fauci for his handling of the pandemic, accusing him of misleading the American people over the risks of COVID-19 and other issues. You're damn right. Fauci appeared on Capitol Hill in January to testify behind closed doors to members of Congress regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. The Committee on Oversight and Accountability, which oversees the subcommittee's work, released transcripts of Fauci's testimony on Friday, which I will show you in just one moment. Fauci is expected to return to Capitol Hill on Monday to testify publicly in front of Congress. One line of questioning from Republican counsel focused on the 6-foot social distancing standard. Fauci was asked where the standard, which was pushed by federal, state, and local officials to slow the spread of COVID-19, originated. The former federal health official suggested that the standard was arbitrary without a hard basis in data. But follow the science, you guys. Sit there and sacrifice things in your own personal life, like your job and your health, for social distancing. Shut everything down. Put the globe in utter chaos for something that you pulled out of your ass. You know, I don't recall. It sort of just appeared, Fauci said in response to the guideline origins. I don't really recall, like, a discussion of whether it should be 5 or 6 or whatever. Holy crap. And we're supposed to have faith in these people. The Democrats want a bigger government and have faith in these nut jobs. In response to a question if Fauci had seen any studies suggesting the 6-foot standard, Fauci responded in the negative. But follow the data. Follow the data. You need to follow the science, is what we heard for 4 fucking years. You're damn right I'm pissed. He made it up. How could you not be? They shut down schools. Schools had to do social distancing for something that was bogus. The dude lied. He just pulled it out of thin air. I was not aware of studies that, in fact, that would be a very difficult study to do. Shit. You know, if they were willing to lie about this, can you imagine what else they were willing to lie about? Can you imagine the cover-up that's taking place here? Also, in his testimony, the GOP counsel asked Fauci if he had seen evidence to support the masking of children while such policies were being implemented across the U.S. and encouraged by health officials. You know, I might have, bitch, but I don't recall specifically that I did. I might have. Oh, it's wild. It is wild. So here's this from Benny Johnson. Here's the actual transcript. It is insane. The Democrats there's people still walking around with masks on outside because of COVID. There's people that had like 6 shots already, like 20. Oh, you gotta follow the science, man. These are the same people, these climate change, psychos out there. The world's gonna end in 20 years. They said that back in the 60s. Now it's been a lot more than 20 years and we're all just fine. The sea levels are gonna rise 100 feet. Well, how'd you come up with that? Well, I don't know. I heard it from somebody. Where? I don't know. Because you just made it up in the same way Anthony Fauci just pulled shit out of his you-know-what. Well, moving on to other people that sometimes I feel like pull stuff out of their you-know-what, but he's actually spot on here. Bill Maher said about pro-Hamas protesters that they should get a taste of how the Islamic world treats women. And I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Maher. Couldn't agree with you more, my friend. Comedian Bill Maher said during his HBO Real-Time show on Friday that pro-Hamas protesters in the U.S. should get a taste of how Islamic countries treat women, which is always astonishing because I see this LGBTQ community for Hamas going out there prancing around, right? Like the amount of I don't even know if that's a word, idioticness. I don't even think that's a word. The amount of sheer stupidity from these people that they're going to sit there and prance around LGBTQ for Hamas. When Hamas throws people off buildings for being gay, part of that community, they'll sit there and put you in a steel cage and drown you to death. They will put you on the stake and light you on fire. And you're going to sit there and prounce around pro-Hamas. You know how stupid you have to be that these people don't want to see you exist? I don't care that you're a part of the LGBTQ community. I just don't want you going after my children or children out there. If you want to be gay, that's your thing. Just leave us alone. I'm very libertarian on it. You want to have a parade? Just leave me out of it. We don't care. But the thing is that you started going after our children. That's where the problem went in, and that's where the problem has been. So Maher made the remarks as far-left extremists have caused major disruptions on college campuses and cities throughout the U.S. Quote, if you're out protesting for a couple of hours wearing a kippah, you should have to go all the way and spend an afternoon running errands where, he said, you should side with the people who ruthlessly oppress women, or you can't side, rather, without at least getting a taste of what you're supporting. And I couldn't agree more here. You want a cause, because I totally got one for you. Apartheid. Yeah, apartheid. The thing you've been shouting about with Israel for months, never mind that Israel Arabs are actually full citizens. Today, right now, hundreds of millions of women are treated worse than second-class citizens. When you mandate that one category of human beings don't even have the right to show their face, that's apartheid. And it goes on in a lot of countries. But they don't look at it this way. They don't have a brain cell on this. These are the same people on college campuses that were asking for humanitarian aid for food and water on college campuses. You could walk 15 minutes or less and get yourself anything you want here in America and fill your belly. And what's even more astonishing is these people that are sitting there siding with Hamas, as well as the Palestinians, where the Palestinians also are experiencing famine that need humanitarian aid. These nutsos on college campuses are asking for humanitarian aid. The people that don't need humanitarian aid are asking for humanitarian aid, while the people that actually need humanitarian aid aren't getting humanitarian aid because these psycho protesters aren't willing to donate their own money to the humanitarian aid that would go to the Palestinians, of which they're supposedly supporting. These people are so ass backwards, it's mind-bending. And people play along as if they're saying, oh yeah, no, you get it. Oh yeah, let's donate them food. So what you have is students on these college campuses at like Harvard, Columbia, and all these other nutso places donating food to the protesters rather than donating food to, I don't know, the people that are actually experiencing famine in Gaza. These are the people, and these are Biden supporters. We're supposed to take them seriously. The same people that lied about COVID, the same people that created the Russia hoax, the same people that told us that Joe Biden is the most popular president in American history, the same people that love crime, the same people that voted in Prop 47, the same people that love mass invasion that's taking place at the southern border, the same people that love the fentanyl that's poured across our southern border, the same people that love all this crap that's happening around the world will still vote for Joe Biden, and we're supposed to all take them seriously this coming November? Are you insane? Why in God's green earth would I ever listen to somebody that consistently sits there and fear mongers everybody, saying the world's going to end in 6 years. I got to get rid of your stove, your coal stove, or your wood stove, or your gas burning stove. It just has stove in it. We got to remove it. Or like AOC's Green New Deal, get rid of the fossil fuel industry that was echoed by Joe Biden. And they're completely baffled that fuel prices go up because they want to ruin the entire industry. These people are idiots. And they're going to sit there and act like they're holier than thou, better than the rest of us, and tell us how we should vote, that Joe Biden's great, nothing to see here, his whole administration is spot on. He's sharp, you guys. You heard that from Joy Behar. You heard that from Karine Jean-Pierre. You heard that from Joe Biden's wife just last week on The View. Yeah, no, he's sharp. He doesn't fumble through his words. We should look at his character. You mean the guy that yells at us every speech? You mean the guy that lectures us? You mean the guy that sits there and pushes this climate accord and this DEI initiative? You mean the guy that's crumbling our military? You mean the guy that's allowed crime to flourish in the United States? You mean the guy that's allowed invasions to happen at our southern border? You mean the guy that's crippling our economy? You mean the guy that had inflation at 9.1%? You mean the guy that fights with the teleprompter every single day and doesn't have his head on straight? You mean the guy that doesn't even know his own name? Do you mean the guy that gets lost going to the Oval Office? Do you mean the guy that trips up the flight of stairs going into Air Force One? Do you mean the guy that trips over a sandbag at a graduation ceremony and also falls off his bicycle standing stationary? Do you mean the guy that gets lost consistently? Do you mean the guy that sits there and fumbles through his words with the press? Do you mean the guy that actually doesn't take a real press conference in 4 years? Do you mean the guy that doesn't stand on the podium during the White House press briefings ever in the matter of 4 years? Do you mean the guy that hired Karine Jean-Pierre, the other nut job, and his predecessor Jen Psaki, who hasn't answered a single question in 4 years? Do you mean that administration? The same administration that lied about the classified documents, the same administration that lied about the Twitter files, the same administration that wanted to start the Ministry of Truth, the same administration that wants to go after your Second Amendment rights, the same administration that wants to chisel away at your First Amendment rights, the same administration that does all this stuff. Really, yeah, we're supposed to take you seriously? You're out of your goddamn mind. I don't think so. I ain't listening to you Democrats. You sitting there tearing this country apart. We've all had enough of it. And speaking of illegal immigration, we got this article here from Chinese, Jordanian, and Turkish illegal immigrants caught in large numbers at the southern border from Fox News. Over 3,500 Chinese nationals were encountered crossing the southern border illegally in May, along with hundreds of Jordanians. And there was a cover-up operation taking place that we saw where some Jordanians, 2 of them, were acting as Amazon delivery drivers going into Quantico illegally. And we believe here on the show, and this is according to a piece by, I believe it was the New York Post, that it was a cover-up terrorist attack. Now, a lot of people think what took place with the ship hitting the bridge, that was a terrorist attack as well. We still haven't got any information out on that one. Turkish and other nationals, according to Customs and Border Protection sources who spoke with Fox News, we know that the Biden administration minimum is allowing 85% of these illegal immigrants to come into the country. Minimum, meaning it could be upwards of 99%. The vast majority, 98%, were encountered in the San Diego sector, which has emerged a top border crossing point, even as numbers across the border have decreased in recent months. The reason why is because there's certain sectors of the border that actually been, I don't want to say closed down, but have razor wire, buoys, and those things that is limiting illegal migration. And so they're finding other paths or avenues to get into the country. And that's why you see California sectors basically being bombarded currently. While the Tucson sector in Arizona saw the most encounters, over, these are insane numbers still, 33,000 illegal encounters. San Diego was close second with 32,000. These are wild. You guys, it's going on 4 years. These are insane numbers. In San Diego, that sector, there was over 770 Jordanians, more than 670 Turkish, and over 500, Mauritian, I'm totally mispronouncing, nationals recorded crossing illegally. Mind you, these Chinese nationals, we don't know who they are. They could be spies for all we know. They could be terrorists for all we don't know anything about these people. But don't worry, come on in. Who are you voting for? Joe Biden, perfect. See that way. We'll go ahead and get you registered to vote. Do you need any legal expenses paid for? Yeah, they'll be on the taxpayer dime. Do you need any rental assistance? You need any housing? No, don't worry about it. No. The Americans are going to take care of that. We're going to foot the bill for you. Do your kids need education? Do you need health care? Yeah, come on in. We got it all covered for you, buddy. Oh, you need a flight to where you want to go? Where do you want to go? We'll pick and choose. You want to go to Philadelphia? You want to go to Chicago? You want to go? Well, you're already in California. We'll fly you up north of San Francisco. You want to go there? Cool. Flight paid for by the American taxpayer. Just lovely. You're shelling this out all the while you can't even feed your own damn kids correctly. All the while you're struggling to pay your own bills. All the while your electricity bill is going up. All the while inflation's going up. All the while real wages are going down. It's all lovely here under the Biden administration. But remember, vote Joey, you guys. Vote Joey this come November. I'm being facetious, of course. Trump 2024, baby, because that's the guy that's going to fix it. We see the corruption from this administration. We see the corruption from the Democrat Party. We see the corruption from the top down. Well, you also have this bad boy coming out where a Pakistani migrant arrested in New York City for allegedly trying to run over Jews. Unbelievable. He said, I'm going to kill all the Jews. Sounds like Hitler stuff, huh? Sounds a lot like what Hitler would say. A Pakistani migrant was arrested in New York City on Wednesday for allegedly trying to murder Jews by running them over with his car. Ban all cars, I guess, you guys. Cars can be considered, a tool to conduct mass murder. So we should just ban all cars because it's the cars that kill people, you guys, not the people. It's the cars that kill people. In the same way, guns kill people, according to the Democrat Party, which is why the Biden administration wants to remove your weapons. Which is why the Democrat Party wants to ban assault weapons, which they've already come out and said that's single action rifles or semi-automatic firearms, which is everything virtually in this country. They've already come out and said what they want to do. The New York Post reported that police arrested 58-year-old Ali after he allegedly revved the engine of his car and then mounted a curb at a yeshiva and drove after Jews while allegedly yelling, I'm going to kill all Jews. Just lovely stuff. You got insane people that are here as migrants that weren't vetted properly, that want to commit heinous crimes. And isn't this something we said earlier on? I don't know, like when Biden took office, that there was terrorists pouring across the border. And y'all remember when DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas was asked about upwards of 40 terrorists of where they were at. And he goes, I don't know. He had no clue. And then he said that in front of Jim Jordan in Congress. 24 hours later, he was on Brett Byers' show of Fox News. Still had no idea. Still didn't have a clue of where these terrorists were. But don't worry, you guys, you're safe. Oh, don't worry. Joe Biden, Commander-in-Chief, has it all together, you guys. He's sharp. He's a mentor to his people. We were told so by Karine Jean-Pierre. There's nobody in the office that can keep up with the guy. His stamina's through the roof, bar none. She said she would challenge anybody to go up against Joe Biden, that nobody can keep up with the guy. Get out of here. The gaslighting's ridiculous. Folks, it's still just a challenge to them in situation at the border. It's not a crisis to them. It never has been. So what if there's more people in this country illegally than like 3/4 of our states in population? Don't worry about it, but give them amnesty, according to Joe Biden. That's not a bit. Joe Biden has already come out and said, everybody that's come in prior to my administration and during my administration deserves amnesty. Wild stuff, meaning good luck trying to get a Republican office for the rest of your life and your children's lives. Well, speaking of ICE director, or rather former ICE director, he issued a dire warning late last week about the serious risk of U.S. national security caused by historic numbers of illegal aliens entering the United States. He made these remarks on Fox News interview on Saturday while speaking about how President Joe Biden's open border policies has caused problems. And you're damn right, we got it right here for you, folks. Let's roll it.
All right, Alicia, we'll pick up where you left off there at the crisis at our southern border with former acting ICE director and Fox News contributor Tom Homan. Tom, thanks for being here in studio with us. And as we see this trial get underway, another part of it is the potential reportedly ties that Ibarra may have to Venezuela's most deadly gang. You heard those terrible descriptions of what he did to Laken Riley, raping, bashing her skull in with the head. But it doesn't come as a surprise if he is tied to this Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. I just want to show our viewers that Chief Jason Owens of the Border Patrol, tweeted earlier this week that along the Texas border, there were 10 members with ties to.
They're all good people, though, you guys. No. These are good people. These violent gang members, these ties to criminal activities. No. The Democrats think these people should be let in. Give them a chance, you guys. They're just here for a better life. You know, these people should not be deported. These people should be put above our veterans and everybody else here. You should be second-class citizens. These people should be first-class citizens in this country, according to the Democrat Party. Open borders allow these people to thrive. They just want a better life, you guys. They just need to send money back. It's all because of climate change. Didn't you hear from Kamala Harris? These people deserve to be here. Of course I'm being facetious. They don't deserve to be here. They should never be here in the first place. This is what the Biden administration, the Democrat Party loves this. If they didn't, they wouldn't continue to elect Democrats in office that allow this type of stuff.
The Tren de Aragua gang. What do you make of this?
Well, look, we know there's, over 1.8 million gotaways. That's what I've been screaming about for 3 years. Gang members and criminals normally don't turn themselves in the Border Patrol, right? Because they're going to be some sort of vetting and background checks. So that concerns me the most is, the 1.8 creeping up on 2 million people who chose to pay more to get away. Why didn't they want to turn themselves in and get a free airline ticket to the city of their choice, free hotel room, 3 meals a day, free medical care, work authorization? Almost 2 million people paid more to get away. And these are going to be gang members. These are going to be your criminals. These are going to be your suspected terrorists. And look, I've said it before, this administration failed the family of Laken Riley on 3 counts. Number one, he should never have been in the United States. He should have been Remain in Mexico program, but Biden administration killed it. Even if that wasn't in place, he should have been detention. The Trump administration ended catch and release. The Biden administration opened it back up. And third, even though he had an arrest in New York previously, even if he had the injury to a child, under this administration, ICE wouldn't have dropped a detainer on him anyways because it didn't rise to the level of the Mayorkas memorandum that he's got to be convicted of a serious crime before ICE can take action.
Tom, you put your finger on something that every border official has told me is the most important, including you, and that is those gotaways. CBP sources confirmed to me this week that there have been over 184,000 known gotaways.
184,000 known gotaways. That's insane. You can head over here to Steve Guest's Twitter page to find this video. We all know what the man's going to say. 1.6 million known gotaways. That doesn't... I can't get this... We talked about this 3 years ago. The way they track the known gotaways is through footprints, through surveillance video, all those other things. They come with a calculation. That doesn't include the ones that we don't know about. That doesn't include, you could have about 2-3 million people in this country, no clue who they are. Actual terrorists that just because you're a Democrat or Republican, they don't give a shit. They want to harm you and your family. They're raping our women and our children. Not all of them, okay? I can only be so clear. Even if it's 1%, that's an insane amount of people that could do massive harm to this country. It didn't take a lot of guys on 9/11 to do what they did and kill thousands of people. Nowadays with dirty bombs and the way stuff can be funneled through the southern border and the illegal activity that's taking place, it doesn't take a lot to do a massive crime. Poison somebody's water supply, go after and commit a heinous crime wherever that may be, a dirty bomb. It doesn't matter what it is. Blow something over an atmosphere that rains down on a lot of people. Democrats don't think of this. They elect a guy in the Oval Office that took an oath to God and the Constitution and the American people to protect them, and he ain't doing it. Get your ass out of office, Joe. We don't need your crap. Look, if we don't get a Republican in office, at least have a Democrat in office with their head on straight that wants to protect us as a commander-in-chief, doesn't want to have a DEI initiative in our military. Jesus Christ, we're going downhill, man. It's happening fast. Well, that's all I got for you. You know, at some point you get a loss for words, man. Like, we can't keep doing this. 35 trillion in debt, people struggling to pay their bills, crime-ridden crime-ridden cities. Enough's enough, man. Democrats, you got to wake up. I don't know if or when that's going to happen, man. It's been going on for quite some time. But anyways, support us, folks, by watching our videos all the way through. That's the best way of actually supporting us. Not skipping ahead or hitting that pause button. YouTube actually tracks your stuff for our channel on an individual basis, and they aggregate it as a group and a community. And if people are really loving it and they're seeing, wow, the watch time is up, people are watching like 70-80% of this guy's videos, let's send it out to more people, and hopefully that will help us be recognized by more people who haven't seen our content or our channel. We can grow here as a community and gather more subscribers and have a bigger effect, and hopefully gather some Democrats and even more independents. We got a lot of independents that watch the show. We absolutely love them. They're American citizens just as we are. We love nothing more that they join us here every single morning on the Bald Brad channel. If you want to go and beyond, we do have a join tab, and you can become like a membership, part of the Bald Brad Army, a patriot, by hitting that join tab at 99 cents a month. Not a day. I know that sounds crazy. I don't believe it. It's too good to be true. 99 cents a month. You can come to the Bald Brad Army, folks. It's Bidenomics. I know things are tight pitch. Please don't feel like you have to. I'm not begging for it. Just if you want to. We get a lot of emails. How can we support you? Again, you just hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment down below. And watching the videos all the way through and repeating watching them. Just pop it on mute or whatever. That's really truthfully how you can support us. And anything helps, folks. You guys just watching every single day. It's a true blessing to be able to do this. We're not beholden by a corporation. I've always said this for the long-time Bald Brad Show viewers. It's just me. That's it. So any support, you watching, that's enough, folks. Just hanging out with me each and every morning. I'm privileged to be able to hang out with such American patriots such as yourselves. Folks, I'll see you tomorrow here on the Bald Brad Show.